When delving into the year 1998, it's essential to begin with the initial chapter of this story. In 1999, Parma achieved promotion from the Serie B, and their trajectory took a significant turn, with Parmalat acquiring the club. This enabled them to contend with the stalwarts of Italian football. Kicking off the decade, Nevio Scala assumed the role of coach, guiding the team to victory in the Italian Cup and achieving remarkable feats in European football, including triumphs in the Cup Winners' Cup and the Super Cup in 1993, as well as securing their first UEFA Cup title in 1995. Under Scala's leadership, Parma also made history by ending Milan's legendary 58-game unbeaten spree. Malassani, akin to figures like Pablo Marchin and Jose Mourinho, initially veered off his footballing path, retiring at the tender age of just 24 to actually pursue a career with the photographic company Canon. That is right. However, he remained steadfast in his ambition to become a coach, deeply passionate about adopting Ajax's total football methods. His coaching journey commenced when he took charge of Chievo's youth teams at the age of 33, steadily progressing to become the assistant manager just 12 years later. Finally, in 1993, he clinched his first managerial position and promptly steered his team to victory, securing the Serie C1 title at the time in his debut season. Subsequently, he briefly oversaw Fiorentina, where he showcased his managerial prowess before making a significant move to Parma. It was at Parma that Tanzi, the club's owner, discerned in Malassani the answer he had been seeking since the era of Nevio Scala. And of course, it is going to be focused on the tactic, and I can obviously say, and you probably know as well, in 1999, obviously it is going to be Malassani who did deploy that fantastic 3-5-2 system. So in terms of this Parma's team's defence, we're obviously going to start things off with Buffon, who went on to become one of the world's finest goalkeepers, will forever hold a special place in Parma's history, as both Juventus and the Italian national team owe a debt of gratitude to the club for nurturing his talent. Buffon embarked on his professional career with Parma at the young age of just 17, eventually establishing himself as the team's first choice goalkeeper and delivering exceptional performances over 6 seasons, featuring in 225 matches. The defensive lineup compressed numerous players who left a lasting impression. Let's delve into their profiles. Following his stint with Monaco, Lilian Thuram ventured into Italy, where he fully embraced his role as a defensive leader. Recognised as France football's best French player and Serie A's best foreign player in 1997, Thuram accumulated a wealth of experience during his time at Parma. Fresh off his World Cup victory in the summer of 1998, he excelled both as a right-sided defender and as a central libero, a term not commonly used in today's football lexicon, serving as a precursor to world-class stoppers like the earlier version of a sort of Chiellini. Nesta Sensini may not have possessed the flashiest technical skills, nor was he considered the most stylish player on the field, but he made up for any lack of elegance with an abundance of reliability and his exceptional positional awareness. Beside them stood Fabio Cannavaro, whose defensive pairing with Thuram became one of the most renowned duos, known for their compactness and complementary style. Overcoming his relatively modest height of 1.76 metres, Cannavaro evolved into a world-class defender, making it nearly impossible for opponents to breach that back line. Turning our attention to the wing-backs, in the left wing-back position, we had Paolo Vanoli, while on the opposite side, Diego Fusa assumed his role there. Both players not only contributed significantly to the team's attacking endeavours, but also exhibited a commendable defensive solidity in safeguarding their respective flanks. Starting off then with the goalkeeper and that back line, we're going to have a goalkeeper simply on defend, nothing too special at all regarding this role. A wide centre-back on the right, simply on defend as well. Very important we feature some wide centre-backs in this system, based off the fact that the wing-backs are going to get incredibly involved in the attack. A central defender in the middle, simply on the default instructions, and on the left-hand side, we opt to have a wide centre-back on defend, simply, again, to do exactly the same as the right centre-back's going to be doing, simply cover for that wing-back, who is going to be very, very attacking. Of course, the wing-backs have got a lot of instructions. On the left-hand side, both are going to be on automatic, by the way. They're also going to be told to cross more often, cross from the byline, get further forwards, and also stay wider. Both of these wing-backs, by the way, who are exactly on the same instructions, play a massive role in how successful this team can be. Turning our attention to that unforgettable midfield, although he's not related to Roberto Baggio, Dino Baggio was an imposing figure, standing at 1.88 metres tall. You couldn't overlook him on the field. The Italian international, with 60 caps and 70 goals to his name, dedicated 6 seasons to Parma, amassing 172 appearances and netting 20 goals. He was a vastly underrated midfielder, adept at both shielding the defence and contributing to attacking plays. Alain Bogosian, the other French representative in this starting 11, made his mark in 4 seasons with the club, tallying 89 appearances and 10 goals. This hyperactive midfielder rebounded significantly after the World Cup, clenching titles in the UEFA Cup, Italian Cup, and the Super Cup. And then, of course, we can't forget about him. It is going to be big Sebastian Veron, a majestic playmaker who actually got a lot of credit in England, especially by Alex Ferguson, a real legend in this Parma team. To replicate their elegant midfield inside of the game, we have gone with an anchor on defend on the default instructions, purely because anchor on the default has a lot of instructions as it is, so in my opinion, we personally did not need anything else additionally to that. We then partner him alongside of a Roman playmaker, as we just discussed, simply on the default as well, again, because I don't want to overcommit too many players in that midfield, because at the end of the day, we've got very aggressive fullbacks, we've got quite an attacker too up front as well, so it's very important we have sort of a very rock-solid midfield. And to finish it off, the most attacking midfielder we have, a central midfielder on support, the one player that is allowed to roam about, dribble more, shoot more often, roam from position, and also move into channels. And honestly, this sort of triangle here in midfield worked so well in this league. Moving over to the forward players, it is going to be Enrico Chiesa, a splendid forward renowned for his prowess in European competitions, often paired with Hernan Crespo, the Argentine striker who embarked on his Italian journey with Parma at the young age of 21. Crespo's impact was immediate and incredible, netting an impressive 28 goals in a single season. Throughout his Parma career, he tallied 79 goals in 148 appearances. In 2012, he concluded his playing career with his beloved club, recording 14 goals in 50 matches, and today he assumes the role of overseeing La Primavera. 2 up top to finish off the tactic. We're going to have a deep lying forward on support, on dribble more, run wide, shoot more often, roam from position, and stay wider. Again, got to provide a little bit of width with one of them 2 up top players, which is obviously very key in a system which obviously is actually quite narrow. So a must set of instructions for him, and to partner him, the advanced forward on attack, on take more risks, dribble more, and also shoot more often. So that is going to give you all of the player instructions. Alongside of this, we actually did opt to have a positive mentality and based the whole tactic around a custom pressing style. And here's a little noteworthy twist as well. Malassani had the versatile Antonio Bellavaro on the bench. Despite not receiving extensive media coverage, his contributions were invaluable. Over 13 years, he dominated the wing, passing 258 appearances and scoring 5 goals, showcasing a balance of defensive solidity and offensive flair. Joining the ranks were the Croatian midfielder Mario Stanic and Faustino Asprilla, the Colombian sensation who graced Parma from 1992 to 1995 and returned for another stint in 1998 to 1999 to aid this fantastic team. Asprilla was a whirlwind of unpredictability with his rubbery legs and tempestuous temperament, making him a cult hero at Parma on 2 separate occasions. Completing the assemble was the Argentine forward Abel Balbo. In the UEFA Cup, they managed to find the back of the net 25 times just in 12 matches. Their triumph over Marseille at Moscow Stadium with a convincing 3-0 scoreline was a bit of a leisurely affair. However, their most remarkable performance occurred during the quarter-finals second leg against Bordeaux. This Bordeaux side would ultimately clench the League One title that season, boasting star-studded names like Laurent Blanc, Robert Pires, Kokpe, and also Ravanali. Alongside of this, we also had Gallas and Degari. In a remarkable display, Parma dismantled Bordeaux with a resounding 6-0 victory, with both Crespo and Chiesa noticing 2 goals each. Remarkably, the spectacular feat was witnessed by a modest crowd of just 16,000 spectators. In Serie A, Malassani fell short of replicating his previous second-place finish due to a notable lapse in mental fortitude. Parma endured a late-season stumble, managing to secure only 8 points from their last 9 matches, which allowed both Milan and Lazio to engage in a thrilling title race. Despite Parma's impressive 4-0 victory over Milan at home and their successful outings against 5 of the top 8 teams, they faltered by dropping 14 points in matches against the league's bottom 6 teams. The squad that triumphed over Fiorentina in the 1999 Italian Cup faced a significant setback with the departure of their exceptional playmaker, Juan Sebastian Veron, who moved to Lazio. Just one season later, the team experienced a substantial exodus, losing Buffon, who would go on to become the world's best goalkeeper, Fabio Cannavaro, who later won the 2006 Ballon d'Or, Lilian Thuram, who would become France's most capped player, and Hernan Crespo, their prolific goal scorer. Crespo's transfer fetched a staggering 56 million, marking it at the time the highest recorded transfer fee. In terms of the team instructions, in possession there are going to be a few instructions, and after what I've sort of looked upon, researched, and done a lot of work on this video, so hopefully you are enjoying it. If you are, please do smash that like button right now. It would mean the absolute world to me, and let me know what you think of these storytelling sort of episodes. We are going to have pass into space on. We're going to focus the play through the middle to really get the most out of those midfield three, because they are absolutely world class. Of course, the wing-backs are such an influential role in this team, hence the overlap left and the overlap right, and also playing out from the back. In terms of the tempo, we're going to up it from 1 from the middle to go to just about slightly higher, and we're going to knock the passing down by 1 as well, just to do that sweet short passing. But still, it's not all going to be tiki-taka. We have got overlap and fullbacks that are going to be putting balls into the box, so don't feel like it's just going to be really boring, slow passing. It's just a great way of playing and recreates their style. In terms of this, we're going to be running at defence because we've got the players to do so, and why not? We've got tons of talent up top, and we're going to be more expressive alongside of mixed crosses. So this is really going to give you a mixed way of playing football that dominates. In terms of in transition, it's going to be what you'd probably be expecting. It's going to be counter, it's going to be counter press. Obviously, you can't really go wrong with that. We're going to distribute to the centre backs because we've got 3 of them. They're all world class. Let's get it to them. And to do that, we're going to take short goal kicks. So nice and simple. In terms of out of possession, we are obviously going to be rocking the high defensive line. You could even, to really replicate it, go with a much higher defensive line. If I can click it, why isn't it let me doing it? There we go. But for FM's sake and making it really, really good in terms of a tactic as well, we are going to deploy the high defensive line. We're going to be maxing out the trigger press, putting a lot of pressure on the goalkeeper, and of course, we're going to be getting stuck in. But as always, guys, we have now got 2 more variants to go over. This is going to be an attacking and defensive variant of the 98 Parma tactic. I want to quickly thank all of the wonderful names coming down the screen right now. These are going to be new or existing Patreon members. Patreon is a great way for you guys to get some fantastic perks, including access to all 3 of the tactics in one simple download. You get early video and tactic release. You get priority in these style of videos and general tactic and rebuild requests. You get one-on-one tactical help and also access to an exclusive Patreon giveaway, which I can confirm is going to be 3 copies of FM24. Either a football shirt or match tickets, I'm not decided on just yet. So a lot to get involved in. You can sign up by clicking the link in the description, and also there is going to be a little pinned one in the comments. It would mean the absolute world. But let's go ahead and break down these 2 variants. So for the attacking variant, we've kept a lot of inspiration from the default variant, but we have made it a lot more attacking. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the changes. Obviously, the goalkeeper is going to remain the same. All of the back line remains exactly the same in terms of the centre-backs. The wing-backs are now going to adopt an attacking mentality, meaning they're going to be very involved going forwards, which is exactly what we want to do. That is really the major change coming out of the back line, to be honest with you, just making them a lot more aggressive and willing to go forward and create chances. The midfield sees a little bit of a change as well, as we actually opt for a DM. On the default instructions, it's just a little bit less restricted than the anchor on defend, a little bit more of a license to do a little bit more of a positive impact on the game. A Roman playmaker also is going to remain the same. The centre mid goes on to attack as well, a lot more attacker now, maintains the same instructions, but again, just a simple mentality switch to really get him focused on that attacking side of the game. The real change up top comes from an advanced sword. Personally, for me, whenever I want to maximise my goals, I always rock out with 2 up top, and usually 2 AFs work absolutely brilliantly, so that is why I have gone with them. The left one is going to be simply on move into channels, and the right one is going to be what it was in the tactic, on take more risks, dribble more, and also shoot more often. In terms of the team instructions, again, the mentality is going to change to attacking, just to clarify, and in terms of this tab here, there is actually going to be no changes, and that's because everything already is so attacking with this tactic, you can't really push it up much more. In transition, the one change that's going to come in is going to be the addition of distributing quickly. Obviously very important if you are chasing the game and trying to get the ball back moving ASAP. And in terms of the attacking variant, in terms of the out of possession as well, the only change is going to be that much higher defensive line, which is going to be the only change. And the reason why we've gone with this higher line is because that is realistically the most you're going to get out of this team in terms of attacking. Obviously, you are going to be more defensively vulnerable playing this way, so I cannot stress enough, this is to use if you're desperate for a goal in the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes. That's the only reason you should deploy this variant. I mean, just in general, guys, the way this tactic plays, the goals we scored, it was endless goals. You can see here a very convincing win over Bologna, a 5-0 win actually, where Crespo, I believe, got 4. The link-up play was fluid, it was sensational. All the players were absolutely tons of fun to play with. So shout out to, obviously, the crazy scientist, the mad scientist. I do apologise for this database because it's an absolute masterpiece. But you can see how the goals get created. It's almost effortless. We do have, obviously, a fantastic team, but it's always nice to show you some of the goals because you can see how they actually occur, and a lot of them coming from long balls in behind, while maintaining that obviously very impressive possession stat, which averaged 63%. And in this game, we actually had 70, so yeah, kind of mind-blowing. Defensive variant takes a lot of inspiration from that default variant. Of course, we're defender now, so things are going to be changing. This remains the same, the goalkeeper, all of the centre-backs remain the same. The first real big change is both of the wing-backs. As you can see, both on the same instructions, are now going to be on automatic, on cross from byline, and stay wider, just restricting those wing-backs a little bit, because the last thing you want when defending a game is your wing-backs to go walkies, and then you're vulnerable on them areas of the field. So just restricting them makes a massive difference when it comes to really becoming a defensive team. In midfield, we're going to have a default anchor on defend, as we did in the original, and in this scenario, a ball-winning midfielder on support on tackle harder, being that default instruction. And these two in the middle are like a couple of absolute brick walls. You essentially have, well, you have a back 7 in many ways of the game. It defends so well. Again, a perfect tactic to deploy for the last 10-20 minutes to seal out a game. Obviously, you're not going to be too attacking while playing like this, but you are going to be able to stop a lot of shots going at your goal. The central midfielder in the midfield is on roam from position and also move into channels. On support, the deep lying forward is going to be exactly the same as in the default. On dribble more, run wide, shoot more often, roam from position, and also stay wider. And that advanced forward is going to be exactly the same as the default one. Again, take more risks, dribble more, and shoot more often. And this is going to give you guys a lot more of a defensively solid 98 Parma tactic, to put it bluntly. Going over to the team instructions though, we're going to be now working with a balanced mentality. A lot does change in possession. We're still going to be passing it into space. We're still going to focus to play through the middle. Of course, now we're not going to look to overlap because we don't really need to. Playing out from the back is still going to be required. Shorter passing directness. We're still going to stick with that slightly higher tempo. But the big change is we are now not going to run at defence, and we are definitely not going to be more expressive because we're trying to defend. We're not looking to overcommit. In terms of in transition, we're not really going to have that counter-pressing style about us anymore. We are still going to hit on the counter in some aspects of the game because we have got world-class forwards. We may as well utilise that. We're going to slow the pace down when the goalkeeper's got the ball and still playing it to any one of those centre-backs. Our possession, again, a few things do change. Obviously, quite a big change actually. That line actually now drops from higher to standard. The trigger press gets brought down one to more often. Still got pressure on the goalkeeper, but this again is just going to make this tactic a much more solid variant, a lot more defensively sensible variant compared to the attacking one, and obviously the default one, which is also quite naturally attacking. But this is going to give you guys 3 brilliant variants of Parma's 98-99 team and their tactics. Please let me know, guys, what you think of the storytelling sort of tactic videos. It makes tactic videos a lot more fun for me to create, and also for any genuine football fans, it must be quite nice to actually hear some facts instead of me just breaking down the tactic by itself. So please let me know in the comments what you think. If you have enjoyed it, smash the like button below and let me know what sort of story you want to hear next, what team, what manager. I'll make it happen. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.